Hi, welcome to Business Law TV. I'm your host, Anki Kwan. In this episode, we're going to go over why your LLC may not protect you against personal liability. An LLC is probably the most popular type of business entity for small business owners. The reason is because LLCs are relatively easy to form. In California, all you have to do to create an LLC is to file the articles of organization with the California Secretary of State. And that starts your process of creating an LLC. But even though it's easy to create an LLC, I think this is where the difficulty begins. People think that the only thing they need to do to create an LLC is to file documentation with the Secretary of State. And that's just not true. In order to get the personal liability protection that you're looking for from your LLC, you have to run your LLC like an actual business. So here are some tips that I have for you to run your LLC in a way that provides you with personal liability protection. The first thing you want to do is you want to get an EIN number for your LLC. You're going to use that EIN number to create a bank account. It's very important that when you're running an LLC, you don't commingle your personal funds with the funds of your LLC. What does that mean? That means that if you're paying off a debt that you have personally, you're not writing a check from your LLC's bank account, and the other way around. If you're paying off an obligation of the LLC, you don't want to write a check from your personal account. You can lend money to the LLC, you can make capital contributions to the LLC, but you don't want to personally satisfy the obligations of the LLC because you want to keep those funds completely separate. So it doesn't look like the LLC is an extension of yourself. You want it to look like you're running an actual separate business from yourself. The second thing you want to do to ensure that you have personal liability protection is to document all your decisions. When you're running a corporation, you're required to have meeting minutes and board resolutions to document that you're making certain decisions and that you have authority to make such decisions. And even though you don't have to be as formal as you do if you're running a corporation, you still want to document your decisions and make sure that you are making those decisions under authorization. So you want to document the decisions that you make, and you want to document the authority that you have for making those decisions. And finally, you may want to have an operating agreement for your LLC. Not all states require that you have operating agreements. You don't have to have an operating agreement in California, for example. When you don't have an operating agreement, you're agreeing to the statutory operating agreement that the state sets out for you. There are laws in California that tells you how you have to run your LLC. When you don't have your own operating agreement, you have to run your LLC the way California prescribes that you run your LLC. When you have an operating agreement, you are agreeing to operate your LLC as described in the operating agreement. So it's a playbook of how you have to run your LLC. And if you do run your LLC by that playbook, it gives you a higher chance of protecting your personal assets. And finally, one reason why you may not get the liability protection you're looking for from an LLC is if you personally guarantee the obligations of your LLC. If you have an LLC, but you personally guarantee your debt, for example, then the creditor can go after you for those debts. If your LLC can't pay off those debts, then the creditor can go after you to pay off those debts. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please share. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.